In years past, I have given you a singular video about Halloween Horror Nights homework, but this time around I want to change things up and I want to give you a little bit of a deep dive into individual properties that will be featured at this year's event. I will give you the movies you need to see, who I believe will be in the haunted house, and I will even let you know some of the history with the franchise at the event overall. In today's video, I will give you a look at everything you need to know before going into Insidious the Further at Halloween Horror Nights this year. First, we will look into the movies that you need to watch, and due to this house being based on the entire franchise altogether, and not just one film, you will have quite a few movies to watch, and they are Insidious, Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious Chapter 3, Insidious the Last Key, and Insidious the Red Door. Now, the order that you watch them in depends on how you want to see it. If you want to watch them in release order, then just watch them in the order that I told you above. However, if you want to watch them in chronological order, it changes the order up ever so slightly. The order you'd want to watch them in would be Insidious Chapter 3, Insidious the Last Key, Insidious Chapter 2, and finally, Insidious the Red Door. Now, me personally, I really do enjoy the Insidious films, but I will give you a little warning about these films altogether. They do contain a lot of jump scares. So just be on lookout for that if you're watching these movies. They are so jump scare heavy, and the first film contains one of the greatest jump scares I have ever experienced in a movie theater, and if you've never seen it, then you're in for a treat, as I believe it is one of the most iconic scenes in horror in the early 2010s. After you've seen the movies, you may wonder who exactly will be in this haunted house, and I'm going to give you an outsider's look on who I believe may be in this haunted house on a very simple scale of likely, maybe likely, and likely, with the concrete confirmation that the lipstick face demon is in there due to him being in the key art as well as the commercial. He is more than likely to be in the house. Another character that is also very likely to be in the house will be the other demon who appeared in the commercial along with the lipstick face demon, and that will be Keyface. And do not fear, because in the press release we were also given for this haunted house, we also received some more likely candidates to be in this house, and they are the Bride in Black as well as the Man Who Can't Breathe. And while that is everyone that we have that is concrete in this house due to the press release and the commercial, we now move to characters that I believe may be likely that they show up in the house. And on this list, we have characters like the Lambert family, but I believe it will mostly be Dalton and Josh Lambert, who are the dad and son from the films. Along with them, another character that I believe will also make appearance would be Michelle Crane, who is also known as the Woman in White, that is also known as the mother to the Bride in Black, which will essentially keep these characters together similar to how they had them in the house in 2015. And to round up the characters that I believe are maybe likely, I will give you someone who I think is the centerpiece of the whole franchise, Elise Rayner. She was a paranormal investigator and physicist that helped the Lambert family, so I believe she might be in there. And now, as for characters that I really want to see but I think are highly unlikely, we got He's Got Your Baby Demon, Doll Girl Demon, and sadly Tucker and Specs, as they are my favorite characters in the whole franchise. They're just so much fun and I would love to see them in the house, but if they're not in the house, I completely understand as well. Now, realistically, I could be 100% wrong and everyone appears in this haunted house, but you never know. It could just be the 4 characters that they mentioned, or it could be everyone, so we just have to wait and see when it comes down to this house. But you may be sitting there and asking yourself, just how good were the original iterations of these haunted houses? And yes, there were multiple. Starting with Orlando, we had Insidious at Halloween Horror Nights 25, and then The Horrors of Blumhouse featuring Sinister, The Purge, and Insidious at Halloween Horror Nights 27. And then as for Hollywood, they had Insidious Into the Further in 2013, Insidious Return to the Further in 2015, and Insidious Beyond the Further in 2017. While I never did experience the houses out in Hollywood, I've heard nothing but amazing things about them. And as for Insidious in Orlando, I still believe these are some of the best haunted houses Universal has put together, as Insidious in 2015 was possibly one of the scariest houses ever, and The Horrors of Blumhouse in 2017 was truly a perfect culmination of everything that you would want inside of a Blumhouse house. And I feel like this year's Insidious the Further will be no different on both coasts. I think this house will truly be amazing and most people will enjoy it, and pretty much that's that when it comes to what you should know before going into this haunted house at Horror Nights this year. But I want to do this thing in each one of my HHN Homework videos that I released this month, where I suggest to you one more thing that you should check out before going to Halloween Horror Nights. And in today's video, it is Halloween Horror Nights: The Art of the Scare, which was filmed in the early years of Halloween Horror Nights, that takes you behind the scenes of the event in general, and it always gets me hyped. And it is one of the very first things I watch in my preparation for Horror Nights, so I just want to suggest that as well. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below some of the stuff that you do to prepare yourself for Halloween Horror Nights. Let me know, because I would love to know. Maybe one of your selections can be next week's entry. Subscribe if you guys already haven't done so, and stay excellent, my dudes.